What's up YouTube, Dad here for Zephyr Wargames, bringing you, as requested, the test hand video for the DDD Diabolos or DDD virus, however you like to pronounce the deck. Test hand video, deck profile that I did for you guys the other day. So what we're going to do is I've standard test hands of 3 going first, 3 going second, and we'll show you how the deck kind of synergizes together and uses and abuses the rest. Just going to knock the cards down in their sleeves a little bit, there we go. So, before we do a nice little shuffle and a nice fair cut. And then we're going to do our opening hand of 5, being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All relatively good in a sense, because we've got the viruses and our viruses are live, especially with Foolish Burial. So we'll start off by using our Kepler. Our Kepler can then search us out our gate. Now you could be a bit more specific in what you want to search, but my kind of plan here is to go gate. Gate would then search me my Oblivion King, Abyss, Ragnarok, because it's at level 8 and I play 3 of it in the deck. And then I've got my trading target to hand. Now I can obviously Foolish Burial my Diabolos right now, but I'm going to wait on that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate our trading. We're going to get rid of our our Oblivion King. Cut that there, and then draw 2. Swell and Haraman, so that's even better really. Because now what we can do, if I wanted to, is we can Foolish Burial a Necro and we've got a Fusion play to go. But what's actually probably better in this scenario is we get rid of this guy, search out the field spell, play that up there, Foolish Burial our Diabolos. There we go, I'm going to send him to the graveyard. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set that there. And we're going to set both our viruses. Now, ideally, what you want to do first is you want to crush card your Kepler. Now, by crush carding your Kepler, you obviously nuke your opponent's board, slows them down quite a bit, and then you bring out your Diabolos. So you get rid of all their beaters in hand. So let's say you go against True Dracos, you hit this, and you take out all their monsters with 15 or more attack. So, you know, they're going to be in big trouble already. You then get to bring back your Diabolos because you tributed off a monster. And then on top of that, they're not going to be able to get anything more. Like, the deck Devi against Dracos isn't going to be useful to you, but again, like I said, you would adapt the deck to what you're going to be facing. Regardless, you've got your crush card. Your crush card has done its job. If they do get anything on the board, even if they get a token during the end phase, you can use Diabolos on that next turn. So let's, for example, what we'll do is we'll play through this turn. So we've hit them with monsters. There's no way they've got any stronger monsters. If they do bring out weaker monsters, or you've already seen the hand, if they've got weaker monsters, then I can deck Devi it. That's just an example. So we've tributed during our turn. So they're going to get a Lair of Darkness token, so I'm just going to put the dice up there so they've got 1. We're going to draw for our turn. Swell Slime, not the end of the world. We can use Dark Contract with a Gate to search us out a Necro Slime. We'll take obviously 1,000, but that's not really a big issue. Search us out a Necro Slime. We can use Diabolos' effect, if we wanted to tribute one of our opponent's monsters and spin it back to spin a card from their hand back to the deck. So, you know, depending on if they've actually got any more left, because to be honest, if there's only spells and traps left, they would have already set them all. We can then use Swell Slime's effect to send him and Necro to graveyard and go into our Genghis. This is the ideal play, but you would banish your slime. Just double deck, because I've never actually done this. Yep. So special summon our Swell Slime from our hand, and Genghis would then go off to revive your Oblivion King or Ragnarok. You can put him in attack if you want to. Obviously you've got more targets for the virus, but I'm really not going to worry about that. We've already got rid of our opponent's token with that. We can link these guys up into our Master King if we wanted to. Or, to kind of loop stuff around, if you think your opponent's got targets on this, you could link all 3. You could link your Diabolos and your High Flame King and go up 1 more level, go into a Deco Talker. Then you could activate your deck Devi if you wanted to, taking out your Ragnarok, and that in turn will then allow you to revive the Diabolos, and then you can swing. Your opponent should have a clear board. There's no way they should have anything left after a Deck Devi and a Crush card and a Lair. You should be able to attack him further. But of course, I think Crush card protects them for the turn anyway. But it shows you've got a bit more sustainability. So you can hold back if you want to as well, because they're on the Crush card, and move plays forward that way at a slower pace. Anyway, that was a bit of a elongated first turn. Of course, we played through it just to kind of show you the sustainability that it has. Now we're going to be a bit more speedy in this sense. And we're going to move on to our second test hand. After a shuffle and a cut, our next 5 cards will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's quite interesting. So we're going to obviously activate Lair straight up on that one. 1-for-1 in Lamia is probably the better option of this kind of scenario, I think. Kepler, Gate, Gate searches out Necro. Do I want Necro? Just trying to figure this one out. I think it's ideal to go for Necro on this one. I'm just trying to, because everything else isn't going to give me too much usage, I don't think. Let me double check Ragnarok. Because I can put Ragnarok in the scale, but it's not really going to do anything. I do Lamia, it doesn't let me bring anything out. I've got the fusion spell on play if I wanted to. Like, the worst case scenario in this is I can use the fusion spell, get rid of Kepler and Necro. So we'd put Kepler and Necro. So let's choose a Necro. Get rid of Kepler and Necro using the Swamp King's effect. And we still got our normal summon as well. Give us our DDD Flame King Genghis. Then we can normal summon our Lilith. Lilith can tribute herself off if we want to do it now to get the traps, which ideally I would say do it now, even though Lair's already up. Do it now to get your traps out. Actually, do we want Eradicate? Yeah, we want Eradicate because we can step up. Deck Devi. And then full force or crush card again, depending on what you're playing against. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4. So we get Deck Devi. So Deck Devi gets set. Lilith is now in grave. And then we can, if we want to, we can fuse, or we can Lamia. If we Lamia, we can still fuse afterwards. So if we Lamia, get rid of this one, because I'd rather have the search for next turn. Sync these, or if you wanted to, you could link them. Entirely up to you. If you link them, you can then get another fusion on board, because you can Necro Slime with DDD Flame King Genghis and get into your Beowulf. Now, by doing so, obviously our Deck Devi is active with both of these targets. Your other option is you can go into DR to gain 1,000 life points, but of course we can also Deck Devi our opponent's monster, which could be very, very disruptive during their turn. So that's kind of what you want from your first turn plays, is having probably the field spell and a virus at the bare minimum. Other than that, your DDDs can then help extend your board and give you a bit of board presence on top of that. Okay, so now moving on to our last test hand, going first shuffle and a cut. Our opening hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so again, this is a bit more of a slower hand, but because we've got a virus and Diabolos, we've actually got a lot of plays to go with. So we can go Swell and Necro into Genghis should we want it. You don't have to. But what you would then do is you'd banish Swirl to special your Ragnarok. Your Flame King would bring you back your Necro Slime, which isn't doing you too much right now, but you've used Flame King's effect, so you can then link these guys together. Go into your Master King Archfiend, set your full force virus, and then during your opponent's turn, you can hit your Ragnarok, knocking everything out of your opponent's hand, and then bring out your Diabolos. So again, not the strongest of kind of plays, but it also leaves you with Necro in grave as well, so you could banish Necro, I suppose, as well, and you could have a Beowulf, so you could have a board like that. And then if your opponent can't clear that, especially after being full forced, if they've got loads of weak defenders, you can just push him for game. So again, with the Dracos, apart from Masterpiece, it would hit all of the Draco cards, so they haven't got any one steps. They have to go straight to Masterpiece. So yeah. And then the best thing about if you're forcing them to make Masterpiece, they've got to be very, very careful, because if they don't make it immune by spells, you just pull out your field spell and tribute it off, which is, you know, if they don't make it immune by traps, you hit it with a virus. If they don't make it immune by monster effects, you can hit it with your Ragnarok and some of your other DDD cards as well. So there's a lot of, they've got some main deck outs to Dracos in this build. Anyway, now let's get a bit more aggressive. Cut, and we can start going second and show you what that SIP card does. Obviously, with the SIP card, what you want to be doing is you want to be having your field spells. You want less of the viruses, more of the field spells for this one. Okay, so not too bad, but not the best either. So we'll go Terraforming. We've got the field spell in play, which is like a really good start. Activating that. We'll activate our gate. We could search our Kepler if we want to go further forward, but I'm going to go with Swirl Slime. I could Foolish Burial. I can't tribute one of my monsters as of yet. So the Foolish Burial wouldn't actually help me too much. I'd have to push more for the DDD engine. So you'd go Swirl and Lamia into Genghis. Swirl's effect for Lamia. Genghis' effect for Lamia. Sync. Or link. If you wanted to link, you can link. Sync into Alexander. And then, of course, if you want to, you can go into Crystal Wing, or you can go into your Siegfried, which kind of switches off your opponent's back row on top of that. You can Foolish your Necro if you want to. So if you were to link, I would then Foolish your Necro and do it that way instead. So let's show you the link version. You leave your Lamia on there. You would link into Master King Archfiend. You would Foolish Burial your Necro, and then you can run your gamble on this one here. We've still got Lamia that we can bring back, so that's absolutely fine. But we send our Necro. You've now got your option to, you can use Archking's effect, I believe. Let me just double check. I think it's just when any time one is sent. Once per chain, if a Fiend monster is sent to the graveyard except during your standard set, you roll 6-sided dice and apply this effect on one of those monsters based on the result. So we could bring back the Necro Slime, not that we really want to. So it's not worth the risk on that one. Use Necro and High Flame King to go into your Diark. Sync this Lamia with your Diark to go into your Siegfried. Now you could use this effect, because this could possibly give you your Diark back. So this one is a 1, you add it to your hand. A 2, is it just a normal monster? I've never used this effect before, guys, so bear with me. Fiend monster is sent to the graveyard. Well, 6-sided die, apply this effect on the monster's base. Yeah, okay, so we want a 6 to special summon it. 2, 3, or 4 goes back, so we've got a 1. Add it to hand. I don't know if you can actually add the Oracle, the art to hand, so I guess we add the Lamia back. You could then use your Lamia's effect to pop the contract to bring a hit back, but that's not really worth it right now. Set one there. And then we can go attacking for 2k, attacking for 28, turn a trap or spell off. Then during our opponent's turn, we can deck Devi using their monster, or we can use either one of these two. That hurts them already and kind of negs them down a little bit more. So, you know, like I said, you don't want your viruses in your opening hands when you're going second. So 9 times out of 10, if you win the dice roll, go first, and then when you think your opponent's going to force you to go second, you start adapting your deck where necessary. Anyway, now on to our second test stand, going second. See if we can get the Diabolos plays going. There we go, do that, do that, do that. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is this madness? It's not bad, we've just got too many monsters, like way too many monsters. So you'd probably go Swirl and Lamia to go into your Genghis. Actually, let's not do that. We've got a better way of doing this. Let's go Swell and Ragnarok. Get Ragnarok to graveyard. Then we can use Swell's effect to banish itself, special summon Lamia, and then Genghis's effect. We can revive Ragnarok. We still haven't used a normal summon, which is really important. Lamia to link up with our Flame King to go into Archfiend, so we'll put him over there. Now, if we wanted to, if we really wanted to, we are going second. This would actually do a lot of damage to our opponent. Ideally, we would want the field spell to turn them all dark. That's where this guy really sits in his own. We could tribute both of those off if we wanted to, and then burn our opponent through. We might as well roll the dice on the Master King Archfiend. No, because it's when it's linked, I believe. So what are we sitting on now? We got the Lamia that can destroy Swell and come back. And then we can use Archfiend's effect if we wanted to. And then we've got the Mega Monarch. I suppose we use Lamia's effect. Oh no, wait, we can do it. I can do it. Sorry guys, like I said, I haven't played DDD for ages. This is the first time I picked it back up and tested it. Like physically, everything else has been online, so it's been all automatic. So we use Lamia's effect, tribute out the Swell Slime. Use Archfiend's effect for 4, so we put Swell Slime back into deck. Then use Ragnarok's effect to tribute off Lamia, even though it's going to get banished. Destroy one of your opponent's cards and then special summon out Diabolos. Diabolos could then target Archfiend to spin a card from your opponent's hand. But before that, you go in for 3k, in for 22, in for 2k, then you can use his effect, and you kind of weaken your opponent down a little bit more. Like I said, not the most optimum kind of hand because we didn't have any spells or traps or anything like that. But still very powerful. You can see that you could get your boss monsters on board. And then if you wanted to be safe, you could overlay it into a rank 8. And move plays forward that way as well. So let's do our last test hand, going second. And see what we can finish off with. So there's that, there's that, there's that. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is this madness? Okay, so we're going to trade in our Diabolos, and we get a Lamia, and we get a Lair. Okay, that's slightly okay now. So we've got the Lair of Darkness. There's a way of getting Diabolos back, but I don't really want to be doing it. What you'd have to do is you'd have to scale one of your Ragnaroks, use Lamia to send Ragnarok from deck to hand to special summon herself. This Ragnarok's effect will go off to bring back this Ragnarok. You'd then use the effect of this Ragnarok to destroy the Lamia, banishing it, bringing back your Diabolos. You would then use Diabolos' effect to tribute one of your opponent's monsters to spin a card back. You can then attack him for half damage, and then like I said, if you wanted to, you could overlay. Other than that, you would set your virus, and then in your end phase, you would get a dark token because you tribute off a DD monster. I believe it's just when you tribute. Yeah, up to number of monsters tributed this turn. So then you would have a virus target, so during your opponent's turn, you can crush card them. And then that's going to nuke and wipe out their board as well. So, again, not the most optimum of hand because we did get into our Ragnarok. But because we had the Diabolos there, we was able to loot the Diabolos round, do a bit of half damage. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember the ruling on Lamia, so I might have got that one a little bit wrong. But I'm pretty sure Lamia can send a pendulum monster from hand to grave. She just can't send from field to grave. So, anyway, that is it for the test hand. A little bit complicated there. It's trying to get my head around both of the engines. But you can kind of see how, in theory and in actual practice, that they both resolve around each other. And the viruses can be incredibly powerful. What I've tried to make this deck do is I've tried to give it the ability to use and abuse going both first and second. So you never really get those times when it's like, oh, I lost the dice roll, that's it, I've lost a game. As you can see, without even touching a side deck, this has had the ability to go both first and second. Obviously, there's more optimum plays going first. Going first, you want your viruses. Going second, you want your field spell. So not that you don't want your field spell going first, but they're just the more optimum kind of plays you can go for and optimum kind of outcomes you can ask for and get. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this is kind of giving you an idea. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and as always, guys, until next time, happy dueling. Also, YouTube, thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.